News from South Africa. So they've just released the report looking back on the previous year, and they've declared that the South African Air Force and Navy are hardly operational as the SANDF performance has declined. Now, we who live here have known this for a while now. It's actually quite scary how bad they've let it get. The South African Navy and Air Force have, due to a lack of maintenance and funding, seen key assets become less productive, resulting in the decline in time at sea and hours flown. So actual time operating at sea and actual time in the air for air crews. This resulted in the Navy and Air Force being hardly operational. Now that's kind statement in the article, because they should technically just say not operational. The South African Navy and SA Air Force has seen a decline in the number of hours that their key assets have been productive, with vessels spending 2,641 hours at sea between 2023 and 2024's year, from a high of 11,000 hours in 2013-2014's period. So it's a massive decline in the time we're supposed to be patrolling our economic waters and checking on piracy and helping with protecting our fishing zones and all these kind of things. Aircraft flew a total of 711 hours for force employment in 2023-2024, from a high of 11,700 hours in 2012-2013, according to the Auditor General. 711 hours across all aircrew in our entire Air Force is what they achieved. Now you've got to know how bad that situation really is. When you think we have a fleet of fighter planes that are completely falling apart and we can only get 2 in the air. 2. If anyone attacks this country, we've got 2 guys who can get up there and do what? Because the missiles are probably not working either. In the 2023-2024 financial year, the Air Force only flew 6,904 hours instead of a target of 12,000 per year, and the Navy spent 2,641 hours at sea instead of the 8,000 targeted year. So that's just crazy if you look at those numbers. The decline in the capability has had a direct impact now on training and development, with most aircrew losing their currencies. At the year end, 62.5% of the SANDF commitments are unfunded. Most of our aircrew have to go through their training again because they don't get the flying time you need to keep your competency and stay viable and know what you're doing. It's been so long since they've flown that they don't remember everything and they have to be tested again. This is the craziness. So from a place where we were world class right up there many, many years ago, and a force to be reckoned with, from the military and our special forces that were second to none, all the way up to our Air Force pilots that were absolute cream of the crop. We used to train with the Israelis. They came and gave us technology and helped us with many things which I won't go into. And like, for example, the Cheetah fighter plane is a derivative built on the Kafir design, which is a derivative built on the Mirage 3. So there's a lot of collab we did with Israel before we as a country turned against Israel. And back in the day, we were formidable, to where we are now, where we're completely a joke, a literal joke with regards to our military. Now, you've got to ask yourself a leading question, just if you are in South Africa. We belong to, I say belong to, our government would say are best friends with Russia and China. Now, if we were really best friends with Russia and China, why are they not giving us all their old equipment, for example? Give us your old fighter planes, Russia and China. Come in here and train our people. Give us some extra help. Do the maintenance contracts, these things. Let's get some MiGs and Hind helicopters in here, stuff you're not currently using, and get our crews trained and in the air and actually patrolling and doing what they need to do. The same with the Navy. They could do it in a heartbeat. So now this begs the question, and it wouldn't hurt them. Why aren't they doing it? Because as much as our government thinks they're our besties, I'm saying we're owned. they're looking at us as, oh, fertile grounds, farmlands, mines, ore, those kind of things. We are a desirable area to take in the event that they need to take it. The same reason why America and the West want to overpower and get that relationship with South Africa. South Africa, for the same reason, is shown in their 2012 disaster movie as the place everyone goes when the whole thing is over and the tidal waves have washed everything away. They all land in Cape Town, which is hilarious personally. But they're not equipping us because they don't need us to be equipped and ready to defend ourselves. We have to rely on them in the event that something goes wrong. Why? Because they're not interested in being our best friends, much to the government's surprise when they eventually wake up to that and look past the dollars and everything they're receiving for this. But they need us to be there so that they can take what they want when the time comes. And that's the sad truth of the situation. And that's why they are not helping us with our military falling apart at the moment completely. Makes no sense unless you realize, as with all other things in this end time dance, it's part of their plan. But God, their plans all come to naught. And we know this because we read the Bible. God bless. Keep looking up. Shalom.